Old pirates, yes, they rode by, sold to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took guide from...
G'day guys, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitars Ready Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'll teach you how to play Redemption Song by Bob Marley, which is a great tune. For the basics, we'll just need our guitar in standard tuning and no capo is required. If you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarsreadyhero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you want to improve in your guitar in general, then check out Guitars Ready Hero Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. Alright, let's jump into the lesson. Okay, so let's start with the intro of this song, which is a really nice and fun lick to play. Now I'm going to play this all with my thumb because I believe that's what Bob Marley does in the live performances. He tends to just use his thumb. But you can use a pick to play this intro and the strumming as well. But I'm just going to use my fingers here. Now there's 2 lines of tab for this opening intro. We're going to start with our ring finger on the G note here. So 3rd fret of the 6th string. We're going to hit that. We're going to hit the open 5th string and then the 2nd fret on the 3 beat. So 1 and 2 and 3. We go back to the G on the 4 beat. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. For the next bar, we're going to then go to that 2nd fret of the 5th string with our middle finger, hit it, but then instantly slide up to the 3rd fret. And then with our index finger, 1st fret of the 4th string, hit that and instantly slide up to the 2nd fret. So that's all on the beats as well. So 1 and 2 and on the 3 beat, we'll hit the open 4th string, and then on the 4 beat, we'll go back to the 2nd fret with our middle finger. So everything's on the beat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. For the 3rd bar, we're going to start with our G note again, with our ring finger. On the end beat after the 2, open 5th string, then on the 3 beat, the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and then on the end beat after the 3, we'll go right up to the open 4th string. So that run of 3 notes, and 3 and 4. On the end beat after the 4, we then go back to the 2nd fret of the 5th string. So the 3rd bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And for the final bar, we go up to the 3rd fret of the 5th string with our ring finger, and then just descend to the 2nd fret and then open. And that's all at 8th notes. So 1 and 2 and on the 3 beat and on the G. So the final bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the first line of tab, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now the second line of tab is identical except for the 3rd bar we don't have that 2nd fret note at the very end of that bar. We just hold out that open 4th string and then play the 4th and final bar. So we're just leaving out one note that we had in the first line of tab. So in total, the intro sounds like this. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. So after that intro, we then get into some chords. We start off with verse 1 and there's 2 lines of chords here. So we're going to start with the G chord. Now Bob Marley plays his G chord like this. So it's a 3-finger G chord with our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th, and pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Now this is a nice G chord because it makes it easy for us to transition to a C chord later on. So you can play this G chord, but if you're more used to this 3-finger G chord or even the 4-finger G chord, you can use any of them. I'm just going to use this for this particular lesson, but feel free to use whatever G chord you're comfortable with. The second chord is an E minor. From this particular G chord, you can keep your middle finger where it is and just put your ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string for this E minor. Now for these first two chords, or any chord for that matter, which is played by itself in one bar, we're going to be playing it with a down, down, up, down, up strumming pattern. So the G and the E minor, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now for the third bar, we get to a C chord, and then we're going to go to a G/B. So to play that, we're just going to move our middle finger up to the 2nd fret of the 5th string, pinky on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and we're just focusing on those middle 4 strings. So no need to hit a 6th string or 1st string, we're just focused on these middle 4 strings. And you can mute the 6th string by lightly putting your thumb over the top to mute that string. So for the C to the G/B, that's contained within one bar, and each chord is effectively just played for a down, down, up, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we go to an A minor to end this line of chords, which returns back to our full strumming pattern. So the first line of chords, now that first line of chords is played through 3 times, and for the second line of chords we have our G, E minor, C, and then a D chord for 2 full bars. So that's it for verse 1. I'm going to play the 2 lines of chords. I'll just play that first line of chords through once, but in the actual song you'll need to play it through 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, next we get to chorus number 1, and there's 3 lines of chords here. So we start with a G chord, and then we go to a C and D. Now that C and D are contained within one bar, and instead of playing the down, down, up strumming pattern, we're going to just play continuous down, up strumming pattern at 8th notes. And each chord, the C and the D, is just held out for half a bar. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So the first line of chords. That first line of chords is played through twice. For the second line of chords, it's basically the same as the first line of chords, except we're playing an E minor chord instead of a G. For the chorus, I like using this fingering for the E minor because it's easy to transition to our C, because we just have that middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. And then the third line of chords is the same as the first line of chords. So chorus number 1 will just sound like this. Next we move on to verse 2/verse 3. And there's 4 lines of chords here. So this first line of chords is identical to the first line of chords in verse number 1. We've already learnt that, nothing new there. The second line of chords is basically the same, but instead of going to an A minor chord, we're going to a D chord. The third line of chords is the same as the first line of chords, and for the fourth line of chords, it's the same as the second line of chords, except we add an extra bar of the D chord. So really nice and simple there. It's just a few tweaks of the first verse effectively. I won't play this whole thing through because it's pretty self-explanatory, but if you want to see it in context, go to the playthrough at the end of the song. Now for chorus number 2, it's identical to chorus number 1, except that third line of chords is played through 3 times, not twice. Next we get to the bridge, and it's really simple. We just have our E minor and then our C and D, which are contained within one bar. The strumming pattern for this first chord though is going to be something a little different. We are going to effectively just strum down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So a continuous down, up strumming pattern at 8th notes. But on the first down strum, we'll fret the E minor, And then from that point onwards, we'll just lift our fretting hands and mute all the strings. And I do that by just resting my ring finger on top of all the strings, not fretting down. So on the first down strum, fret, but then after that, on the very next up strum, start muting. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we go to our C to D, which is the same as the chorus. And together, 1, 2 and 3 and 4. And that's played through 4 times. Next is chorus number 3. This is the same as chorus 1 with a couple of differences. So first difference is the third line of chords is just played through once, not twice. And the second addition is the fourth line of chords, which is the same as the second line of chords, but just played through twice. Now, I'm not going to play it all the way through. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you want to see it in context, then again, head to the playthrough at the end of this lesson. The final thing to learn is the outro, and there's 3 lines of chords here. So the first line of chords is the same as the first line of chords for the choruses. So we have... For the second line of chords, it's almost the same, except instead of a D chord, we play a G/B chord. So the second line of chords. Then for the third line of chords, we go to an A minor chord. We're going to play 2 bars of A minor. Now the strumming pattern is going to be continuous down-up strumming pattern at 8th notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... But then we'll play an A minor 6, so we'll take our pinky finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. So we'll play this for another full bar of that continuous down-up strumming pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and for the 4th and final bar, we're going to play up until the 3 beat, where we'll strum and then mute everything. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and in total for that final line of chords, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So the outro in total. And those are all the parts to this song. So now I'll be doing a full playthrough of the song, and I'll have a vocal track on top for some context. Big thanks to my friend Eric for lending his awesome vocals to this playthrough. Feel free to play this back as many times as you like to practice, play along to, and see how you go.
Old pirates, yes, they run by, sold to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pits, but my head was made strong
Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here. Or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.